M&M has been helping taxpayers around the country resolve their tax debt since 2005, and we've earned an A+ rating with the BBB and received their complaint-free award numerous times. Each of our tax teams is headed by an enrolled agent, licensed by the U.S. Treasury to represent you before the IRS with unlimited practice rights. We are also fully insured. What this means to you is that we're going to be here tomorrow when you need us. We have more than 30 combined years of tax resolution experience. M&M provides rewarding, stable jobs to our employees. They produce a valuable service that helps people during a critical time in their lives utilize a proven system that they contribute to, and we treat them well. M&M is also involved in the Chicago community. We regularly give back by donating food and money to local charity organizations. Each of the items I've touched on is important to the service we provide our clients because each of them brings consistency and stability to M&M. We get great results for our clients because of it. At M&M, we solve business and individual tax debt problems, but we specialize in payroll tax debt, which is much more complicated than other delinquent taxes. That's because the IRS views delinquent payroll tax as theft from employees. M&M's tax resolution system has been continually developed since we started in 2005, and we continue to innovate it as the IRS laws and guidelines change. As you can see, there are many different parts to the system that mesh together to achieve the best results for our clients. 3 of the steps we'll cover here are the compliance check, the installment agreement process, and the abatement process. We'll also quickly touch on the trust fund tax. Your compliance check is one of the first and most important tasks we accomplish when you bring us on board. It lays the groundwork for success down the road. For the IRS or state to consider a monthly installment agreement, you have to be in compliance, and this process helps us determine the severity of your case. As you can see, we gather a lot of information from the IRS about your case, including missing tax returns, transcripts that show payments and penalties, a payoff calculator, and we determine the last day the IRS can collect the tax. All of this helps to keep the IRS honest and tailor a resolution to fit your needs. There are 6 basic steps we follow in constructing your formal installment agreement proposal. Each of them is crucial to protecting you and your business and making sure all angles are covered. Step 1 is the 433 forms, IRS Collection Information Statements. You feed us information and we take it from there. We make sure everything that needs to be on the form is included and any unnecessary information is removed. We also compare your numbers to the IRS Collection Financial Standards, which are the limits set in place by the service on certain monthly expenses when you owe back taxes. They set limits on things like mortgage payments and rent, car payments, gas, health care, and food. It's very important to know these limits and how to use them to your advantage. Once your M&M tax team has prepared and organized your 433 forms with the necessary backup documents, the forms go through M&M's peer review process to make sure that all of our I's are dotted and T's are crossed. The second step is your request for a formal installment agreement. We base this on your ability to pay monthly, which we've determined in Step 1 by preparing your 433 forms. We want to propose the monthly payment to the IRS, not the other way around. Through your installment agreement request, we'll also request protection from bank account levies, AR levies, seizures, and any other enforced collection action while we're negotiating your resolution. If our research determines that you'll have a trust fund assessment, we'll also request that any personal assessment you receive from the business tax is cross-referenced with your business's monthly payment plan. This means that we request the IRS defer collection of the tax from you personally and focus on the business, allowing your company to pay back its own debt. The trust fund recovery penalty portion of your employment tax debt is the part that the IRS can assess to you personally. It's basically your employee's tax contribution. Your employment tax debt is broken down into 3 categories: employee withholding, the FICA portion or Social Security and Medicare tax, and penalties and interest. While your business is responsible to pay all the tax, penalties, and interest, the IRS has the power to assess your employee's withholding portion and your employee's half of the FICA tax to you personally. You can see why your M&M installment agreement request is so vital. In Step 3 of the installment agreement process, we marry the 433s with your formal installment agreement request to create your proposal for resolution. Ideally, we also like to include your request for the abatement of penalties in this proposal, and we'll cover that next. We take penalty reduction very seriously. There are two ways that we look to reduce and remove penalties from your business payroll tax debt. The first method is through M&M's Payroll Tax Deposit Designation System. We search your recent 941 transcripts and the notices you provide for the opportunity to designate or rearrange your payroll tax deposits, possibly reducing your penalties. The second method we use is the abatement request. Here we request the removal of penalties due to the reasonable cause criteria. As our client, you'll be asked to complete M&M's abatement questionnaire to outline the circumstances that led to the tax debt. We then match your facts and your statement to the reasonable cause criteria laid out in the Internal Revenue Manual and case law that may fit your statement. Finally, we look to strengthen your case through the research we've done all the way back at the compliance check step. Keep in mind, at M&M, we don't guarantee the reduction or abatement of penalties. No one can. We simply give you the best chance at reducing and removing penalties. Once your formal installment agreement proposal is submitted, the bulk of our work is complete, and we're waiting on a response from the IRS. As soon as we have you in a formal agreement with the IRS, we'll give you the option of keeping us at your side to monitor your case as part of M&M's Tax Defender program. We keep our power of attorney in place to make sure you get off to a good start with your new resolution in place. As part of this service, we monitor your agreement, making sure it's securely in place. You'll receive monthly status reports updating you on your agreement activity. We track your monthly payments. Keep track of your total balance due. Your M&M tax team will continue to receive notices on behalf of your business, which will allow us to quickly act and respond to IRS inquiries. You'll get quarterly reminders to file your 941 tax returns timely. In the event of a complete default of your installment agreement, we'll be there immediately as your advisor. We've developed the M&M Tax Resolution System and seen it through start to finish hundreds of times. That allows us to offer it to you at a competitive price and give you a money-back guarantee to minimize the risk of bringing M&M on board. Hire M&M to resolve your back tax debt. You'll be glad you did.